to another edition of Sports Talkies with me, Clinton D'Souza, only on Herald TV. And now I have with me a person who's originally a Goan, but lives 7 seas away from India, away from Goa, but has made Goa proud. And that is none other than Kerensky Fernandes. Kerensky has not only made Goa proud, but also India proud, and she has broken all the stereotypes, saying a woman is not less than a man. And here I present to you Kerensky. Hello, Karen. How are you, first of all?
Hi, Clinton. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
All right. I'm very well. It's very exciting to see that to have you on board, especially I know we are gone into like this complete virtual session out here, but let's get started. First of all, let Goa know who Kerensky is. First of all, go where your roots hail in Goa. Let me know that first.
So I'm from Consaulam,
Okay.
born and raised in Goa, obviously, in Consaulam, and in a small village, just like the usual. And yeah, I've always been into sports since childhood. I've always been into sports. It's been a major part of my life. And the fact that I even moved to the UK was because of sports. I mean, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do back then because obviously there's more opportunities here and stuff. So that's the reason I had moved here. But yeah, I got into MMA and this is what I'm doing right now.
So basically, Kerensky, tell me one thing. Now you are into this kind of a sport, which is always kind of a male-dominating sport. Okay, so I want to know when it comes to what are the stereotypes that you have faced in your real life. First of all, let me tell our viewers. All the time I'm saying stereotype of sport is a men-dominated. The people don't know what kind of sport actually you're playing. So viewers, if you Google Kerensky Fernandes, even if you go check her Instagram, you'll see more about fighting. Yes, Kerensky is an iron lady, I will say, who is there in a ring out there fighting for pride, fighting for her glory, fighting for something that every man fights and wants to get medals. But Kerensky is like a iron lady, I will say, once again, who has broken all the stereotypes, and she is being a part of the MMA fighting group. Recently, she also did her debut and won the MMA in the Olympus Fight Series 2 amateur mixed martial arts fights, and that against Blackman. So, Kerensky, first of all, tell me, how is it different playing this sport compared to the other sport?
The sport that I am in is a very competitive sport, first of all. And it's a lot of things. It's a lot of skill and a lot of hard work and a lot of talent required to fight this sport. And it's different skills. There's like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, wrestling, boxing, judo, all of it. It's a mix of all the sports. And if you go to see, like, when you think about one certain sport, say, for example, boxing, you just have to focus on just striking and movement and stamina and stuff. In mixed martial arts, I've got to think about boxing. I've got to think about the ground game, which is wrestling, judo, and so much more, I've got to learn each and every skill like 1,000 times and practice it so that it fits in my head and I can practice it and deliver it when I'm fighting. Not only does the skill matter here, it also matters. It's a matter of the whole strength and stamina. So I've got to work my strength and conditioning. I've got to work my stamina. I've got to work all of it, basically. And if I don't sleep properly and I go and train, then I'm totally gone, So I've got to get enough sleep. I've got to fuel myself enough. I've got to eat properly. So it's a lot. It's a whole different scene in comparison to most of the sports where you've got to focus only on certain things. This sport, you've got to focus on everything. Okay. You miss out on one thing and you're gone. You have to be having like a schedule, a structure to be following and stuff. So it's a lot of hard work in it. But I think that's what I like about the sport. It's different to the rest of the sports.
Okay, so moving ahead, I also want to know, how was at what age did you start? What age did you thought of going into boxing or this fighting sport?
I'd never thought of doing MMA on a whole before. When I was in school, I was a sprinter, and I was into all kinds of activities, but that was more as a hobby. When I moved to the UK, I wanted to join my sister doing music. I wanted to do I wanted to be a DJ, and I wanted to get into singing and stuff. So it was completely out of the box that I wanted to do MMA on a whole. It wasn't like a planned thing from the beginning or anything like that. So as I moved here, I did weightlifting for about 2.5 years, and I'm a former British weightlifting champion as well.
Whoa.
So yes. And after that, I was like, well, this is not something I want to do. I had like a switch. I was like, this is not something I want to do. I want to do something more. And I had like a gap of almost 2 months of basically just thinking what I want to do next. And my sister just, casually, she was like, you know what, I want to join a martial arts gym. And just for fitness, self-defense, fitness and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll tag along with you, It was just that thing. So we went for a trial class at one of the martial arts gyms that she searched. And after that, I was like, I did my first trial class for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I was like, damn, this is my calling. I want to do this. I really enjoy doing this.
Okay.
And that was just the switch. And since I stepped the mats on that day, till today, I'm training. And it wasn't even back then. I was just, I started off as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, and I did Muay Thai alongside, but I did it separately, and eventually I was just like, what is this? I could mix this up, I was just getting excited thinking about how would it be if I mixed two sports up, like kicking and ground game at the same time.
Correct.
And then I started watching UFC, and it kind of motivated me. And the excitement and thrill I get watching all these things and doing all these things is a whole different.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand your mood right now.
So it's just been about 3 years that I've been doing all of this, but I've been doing MMA on a whole for about a year.
3 years, you already won so many titles. You already have titles and laurels already nailed in your name out there on the wall out there. So how was the reaction? First of all, I want to know, how was the family's reaction when they came to know you're moving into this kind of sport?
So my sister, she's like my mentor. She's always been telling me that, do something that makes you stand out, makes you unique, and just be different. She's always been like the pillar of my strength for everything. She's always stood by me. So I live here with her and my brother-in-law. They've taken my responsibility of like career-wise, study-wise, everything. They've always been there for me. My mom and dad, my mom was back home and my dad was here. But when I told them that my dad has always been a fan of wrestling, by the way.
Okay, cool. So you have one kind of a support, one support was definitely there.
No.
No. Though he loves wrestling, he didn't allow you.
Yeah, he loved wrestling. He thought I always did sports as a hobby, So according to him, or my mom even, they never understood that, okay, I want to do this as a career or a profession. So that was the difference. That was the barrier that was there. But I never had to worry about my dad and mom because my sister always dealt with them in the convincing part of it. So I was lucky enough in that part. But it was not until I had my first MMA fight that they actually came for my fight. And they were like, oh, my daughter's not that bad, So after that is when they're very proud now that I'm doing what I love doing and hopefully going to make a living out of it one day, So they're proud now. But it was very hard in the beginning for them to accept that.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the beginning to accept that I am actually going to be having a messed up face or something like that.
No, you
I,
are quite beautiful out there. No one, there's no
yeah.
messed up. I think you have taken care of your health as well, and also you have made everyone proud out there. I want to know when it comes to like, how is the mood, the energy in your house when you go before and after a fight?
So usually it's my sister and my brother. Everyone apart from me is more nervous than I am when I'm fighting. So everyone, I mean, because I start my camp about 6 weeks and more, as long as I get to know how long my camp is going to be, it depends on that. So I start my weight. I'm pretty much throughout the year, I'm on a diet. But when it comes to weight cuts and stuff, the whole diet thing changes. So sometimes it just gets really, really crazy with the diets and the weight cut. And the mood of me, like, in the house, I'm like, oh, I've got to go cook. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Plus, I've got to train myself. And it's crazy, because I travel for about 2 hours to get to my training center and then 2 hours back. So, because it's quite far from the place that I live. So that is one part of the training, but it's in the house, it's like when I'm in my zone, okay, I'm going to do this. None of them really bother me. That is the only time they are really nice to me. And they're very calm. Like everyone in the house is very calm. And, my brother-in-law, he does bodybuilding as well.
Oh.
So we pretty much are in the zone of athlete zone in the brain, so everyone's like diet. Everyone has a diet, everyone's focusing, everyone's exercising and stuff. So the whole environment around me is positive. So
and very healthy, I think.
Yeah, very healthy. Yes. So before the fight and after the fight, everyone else is nervous more than I am. And I'm like, I'm pretty cool about it. And then once I win, they're all like, in a different zone altogether. They are like all cold in their hands. And yeah, it's a really nice feeling. It's crazy.
All right, moving ahead, can you tell viewers out here who wants to know more about you, is about your recent fight and the fights that you like 3 of the best fights. I know the recent one is also the best fight, and also winning in the British League as well.
As a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, I've done about 2 or 3 competitions, which are big. So I've done I've done the Dublin Open. So I've won the Dublin Open. And I've done the British Open as well. And I've won the British Open as well. And in Muay Thai, I've done more of like the interclubs. So they're more of the shin guards and all of these kind of things. But I've always knocked everyone out. And for MMA, this was my first MMA debut fight as an amateur. I've done one interclub before, and I won on a decision. So this was more, interclubs are more about just, getting experience and learning through the whole thing. But MMA amateur is like, I'm actually stepping my foot into the MMA world kind of a thing. The real deal starts from here. So I'm 1-0 now, and it was an amazing fight. It was a great fight. My opponent, she gave me a very tough fight. I didn't know much about my opponent for this one, because it was her debut fight as well. And the only thing I knew about her is that she had long limbs. Yeah, because I stalked her. And the only thing I knew that she had long limbs, and she's a lightweight, she's 52 kilos, and that she does kickboxing.
Whoa.
That's about it. Yeah. And so I had to work with only these 3 things. And my camp was amazing. Like, my coaches and my teammates, they've always had my back in all these kind of things, because they're very versatile, like so many people with so many different shapes and sizes in where I train, and different styles that they have, it was amazing. So worked on people with long limbs, basically. And it was an amazing fight. It went exactly to what we thought would come. Obviously, I didn't have anything much to look forward to because I didn't know much about her, whether it was grappling or striking. I didn't know anything about her. So it was just me going with whatever preparation I had, what I usually do, going and putting on a performance in the cage.
Okay, so moving ahead, I wanted to, besides in fighting, what are the other things that you do when it comes to your career or the other, your hobbies kind of things?
So I have a lot of hobbies, actually. I mean, it depends on my mood. It's I want to do
Can
something.
name few at least.
I like roller skating.
Oh.
I also like music. I listen to a lot of music, and I also sing, but not like,
Your
it's just,
sister.
yeah. that's not gonna leave me, I'm always gonna be in that. She's a DJ, so I've always been around her, listening to music, trying to learn what she's doing and stuff. So also I like doing bodybuilding for some time. At the moment, I'm not in my great shape, but I'm looking forward to having the
No,
best
we
shape.
saw the pictures. Everything seems to be fine. We just saw a couple of days back when you won the fight out there, and we got to see your pictures as well. So my going ahead, I also know what was the response from your friends out there, and also when I think you must be coming to Goa as well, right? So how is the
Yeah.
response from your Goan colleagues or friends out there, and also your friends in UK out there?
I don't really think they knew what I was getting myself into in the first place until I actually started posting my videos of what exactly I was doing. And then they were like, oh, wow. Whoa. Because everyone always knew that I was doing weightlifting. And even now, if I see back on my comments and stuff, every time I post something, they're like, a big transition from weightlifting to MMA now? Like, So I'm like, yeah, well, I've got myself into MMA. I'm doing this. Yeah, and that's the reaction. They didn't really expect what I was getting myself into.
Right.
But they're really proud of me. And every time I talk to any friend of mine, they're always, they have good regards for me, and they're always hoping for the best.
What will be your message for the upcoming girls out there who always have this society barriers coming in front of them, hurdles coming? If I do this is a men's field, this is a men's genre sport. It won't suit me. You have broken all the stereotypes. So what will be your message for the youth, for the youngsters, especially the girls, and also the young talents out there who want to fulfill their dream, leaving behind about what society says, and just follow your dreams?
Like you've said, this is a very male dominant industry, and women have to work twice as hard as a man to get up there. I've never really faced anything like that over here, that, oh, a man is more stronger than you, so you're going to go back, this, that, whatever. I've never really had anything like that. Touch wood, But as a young woman, I would say women, it's not like the olden times, women are not just bound to being in the kitchen and doing stuff. Women have involved and done so much more in every industry, in every field of, whether it's sports or anything, they've done so much more. The only thing I would say is just keep yourself as a priority if you have an ambition and a goal to get somewhere. And that's about it. You don't really need to get into anything that is going to hold you back. I truly believe in the power of positivity, in manifesting and visioning things. So when you vision yourself doing something in life, you can always achieve your goals and reach to the top. And I myself am still doing it for myself. And hopefully I am going to be at the top one day. And yes, I'm here to create a niche of my own. And I would say this to every woman: keep yourself as the first priority in anything you want to do. Keep yourself first, and you will be where you want to do, what you want to do in life.
Before we wrap up now, I just want to know, what is the next trip that you're planning to come to Goa?
Hopefully soon. This is a question I get asked a lot. At the moment, I can't really say anything because I don't know when my next fight is going to be. Hopefully soon. Um, so I'm just preparing for my next fight already. So when I do have time, maybe by next year, I should be down for a short bit at least.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and also sharing such beautiful values and thoughts also for all our viewers out there. Thank you so much, Kerensky, for
You're welcome.
and wish you all the very best for all that you're doing and keep continue making Goa and India proud out there in UK as well. And hope to see you in Goa. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, really good workshop. Really good workshop. Yeah.
Well, yes, guys, that's all we have in today's Sports Talkies. I'll see you next week in another episode with another personality or another kind of a sports item that I will present to you on Sports Talkies. This is Clinton Souza signing off. Keep watching Herald TV.